stage, actually was named Best Comic of the Year in Chico. Give it up for Gigi McGill.
Pardon me, just grabbing this real quick. How's everyone doing tonight? I'll be honest, I didn't think I'd be doing the festival. I thought I was going to be performing in Riyadh this year. I was excited, that Saudi Arabia festival. I thought I was going to be performing in it. They ended up turning me down because they couldn't figure out if I had to wear a veil or not, which I get. My name is Gigi McGill, but I go by a lot of different nicknames. I go by the Chica from Chico, the Gal from NorCal, Female John Belushi, my personal favorite, Fat Joaquin Phoenix. You laughed a little too hard at that. This is okay. I'm really happy to be here. I'll start this off. I know you just had a trans comedian right before me. In case you need to remember the difference between us, just remember I'm the trans comedian whose dad still talks to them. So, am I being presumptuous or?
My dad loves me.
Yeah, but for the sake of the joke, can we just say?
He's a son of a bitch.
Oh, sorry. No, my dad, he talks to me and whatnot, but he's a weird fucker, I'll admit. No, because one time we were hanging out and I'm about to leave and he goes, "Hey man, I wanted to ask you a question." I'm like, "Sure, what's up?" He goes, "I always wondered this and I wanted to ask you." I'm like, "What is it?" He goes, "Were Simon and Garfunkel gay?" And I was like, "No, they weren't gay. Why do you think that?" Because I was expecting him to have no fucking evidence, but to his credit, he did actually have evidence. I asked him, "Why do you think they're gay?" And he said, "Well, they're always standing next to each other." I can't help but think the lives we could have saved during COVID if we had advertised social distancing as, "Hey, stand 6 feet apart, it'll come off a little swishy." By the way, I'm sorry if these jokes are a little stilted. One of the biggest criticisms I get from my audiences and my parents is I'm not really good with transitions. So, why? What are you guys thinking? If you can't tell by my general demeanor, I'm not crazy about Ron DeSantis. I think he, and may the good Joseph Smith forgive me, I think he's kind of a phony, or he's a flim-flam man, He's no good. Sorry. He's no good. His biggest enemy is Disney. He hates Disney as his biggest enemy. But he's also a pro-life Republican, which means he hates Planned Parenthood. And think about it, his biggest enemies are Disney and Planned Parenthood. Those kind of come off as two random companies, but when you think about it, they do have the same mission statement. They both want to bring the child out in you, which is it's true. It's true. It's true. I don't know how you guys felt about this, but I learned recently that Osama bin Laden not only has a kid, but he's actually kind of cool. He wears leather and stuff and goes to the punk shows, which I think is awesome. I appreciate that. And he likes to drink and whatnot. He drinks in the New York bars and all that. He's cool. And luckily, he's not like his dad. I would argue. The only thing he has in common with his dad is, when he's in the bar, he knows how to down a Manhattan. It's true. It's true. Growing up, I listened to a lot of classic rock. My dad was big into Grateful Dead. What's weird for me is a lot of people my age only know the lead singer because there's an ice cream flavor named after him. Let's not woo the concept of ice cream. I know I'm fat, but even no, but like that's how a lot of people my age know him. Which is weird because if you know rock history like I do, Jerry Garcia went into a diabetic coma where he nearly died in the late 80s. And how do we honor him? With ice cream. And if you're in the audience and you're thinking, well, that's not that big of a deal, let me ask you this. How would you feel if tomorrow Smith & Wesson put out an announcement saying, well, we have a new shotgun out, it's called the Cobain. Right, see how our feelings change? I grew up with a lot of the classic cartoons. I personally myself am not offended by Pepe Le Pew. That's just me, personally. I had a trans friend of mine, and she hated him because she was just like, oh, he just represents all that's bad, and I would never want my children, exposed to that kind of behavior. And I was like, no, I get it. I was like, you don't want them exposed to that kind of rape culture he represents. And they're like, no, I don't want my kid to know that French people exist. And I was like, I don't blame you, but what are you gonna do? It's true. I remember I heard a story recently, or my friend told me that they had a friend of theirs that was a stripper, but with the money that they made stripping, they actually went to law school and everything and became a full-fledged lawyer, which I thought was pretty cool. I will admit I was kind of immature about it. I was like, oh, that's fantastic. So instead of passing the pole, she's passing the bar. I think that's exciting. I'll be honest, I was hella nervous about doing this show. I really am. I was. I feel good now, but I was nervous. I had to call my grandmother right before this, and she was very lovely. She was like, Gigi, you have Christ on your side. You're going to be unstoppable. I don't know if we have any history buffs in the audience, but last time I checked, Jesus was pretty famously stoppable. I mean, I don't know how confident I feel. I mean, Julius Caesar at least got in a few good punches. But, do we have any Disney fans in the audience? Now, hear me out on this point. Is it me, or was Bambi's mom kind of asking for it? No, hear me out. I was watching it with my brother, because he had never seen it. We're watching it, we get to that scene, and he brings up a valid point. He said, well, maybe if Bambi's mom had smiled more. and I was like, yeah. I mean, she's wearing practically nothing. I mean, I was talking recently because I was talking about Batman villains, and I called the Penguin evil, and my friend defended them. And they said, no, he can't be evil. I mean, he was always nice to the penguins that he had around his place. So by that definition, he can't be evil. And I was like, you do know that Hitler very famously loved his dog. And my friend just goes, hey, her name was Ava Braun. I mean, I don't want to slut shame Nazis, but, or do I? I don't know. I really don't know what the spectrum is on that. I don't know if I ever told you guys this. Probably not, because I've never been to this town before. I remember once I was in SAC and I actually ran into my childhood hero. I was basically in a club, and I saw one of my childhood heroes standing there. It was Porky Pig. And he was just standing there. It was a club. I should have known he was in the club scene. Because he, he wears, no shirt and a bow tie. Very club. I ended up, I was like, YOLO, you only live once. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna hook up with Porky Pig. So I go back to my place with Porky Pig, and I have to admit, the sex was underwhelming. He's very kinky, he asked me to stuff his mouth, so I shove an apple in it. I have his hooves in the air, he's very kinky. I think the worst part about having sex with Porky Pig is, I'm sorry to say there's a downside. The worst part about having sex with Porky Pig is he talks throughout the entire time you're doing it. So while Porky Pig is giving it to me, he is talking, and the entire time he's going about the ejaculate. And that just made me uncomfortable. But to make matters worse, when he finally finishes, instead of saying, "How was it for you?" he just goes, "That's all, folks." Anyway, I've been Gigi McGilly.